Hi, welcome to Salve Salento. I'm Jennifer, and today I wanted to get with you on bills, what your actual utility bills you can expect that they'll cost you in Italy. Now, the region that we're in is southern Italy, and we're actually in the heel of Italy, which is Salento, in Puglia, in southern Puglia. So our bills may be different if you live up north in Italy or if you're in a different region. But for our region, and you can actually go online and see what the rates are for the place that you actually are thinking of living, and you can compare them to what the values that I give you today. So we had the opportunity to be there in all phases of the year, where we were there in the spring when we didn't really need a lot of air conditioning, in the summer when we used a lot of air conditioning, and in the fall when, again, we didn't need air conditioning again. We had guests, we didn't have guests, so we have a comparison of our bills that you can expect to have for a property our size with the same amount of bathrooms and things like that. So our electric bills are separate for the upstairs and for the apartment downstairs. Those are separate bills. The water is combined. The gas is only for upstairs. The internet we share because we're in the same unit. And our taxes are combined. So, okay. Here we go. So for the summer, I'll start with the worst and then I'll work my way back. So the summer, we had excruciating heat in August. It was really, really hot. There were a few days that we got up to heat index for 110, and we actually were very, very comfortable inside. When we weren't outside, we tried to get out of the house and then, use it only at night, but there were times where during the day, there's really, during the summer, if you're home and you're not at the beach or anything like that, there's really not much to do outside. So, and you can't lay outside because it was just so hot. So we would have the air on inside. Plus we had company. We had the kids with us over the summer. So we didn't want everybody to be hot and sweaty. So we had the air on during the day. So during the summer, when it was hot, to have the AC on at night and during the day, mostly all the time, our electric was $250 a month. So it doesn't sound so bad. When it was nice out, we tried to turn it off because you really didn't need it. But for the most part, in August and most of July, we had the air on. And it was $250 a month, which is about average in Florida if you have your air on all the time, which we always did, most of the year anyway. So our electric bill, while being there, not in the summer, is about $85 a month. So that includes if we have our air on, our fan, if we have on appliances in the house, everything, $85 a month. While we were there, not in the summer, which is a lot better. Not being there, our bills are $30 a month for each property. So if you have one property, obviously $30. You have to pay for the access no matter what. So $30 a month is not bad for the electric. So electric is covered. Gas. So we do have gas in one property upstairs for only hot water and for cooking, because I love to cook on gas stove and I love my big, beautiful gas stove. I can't wait to get back to it. So gas is, if you're only using gas for cooking and hot water, which we told them to do only because we had the tub. And he said if you're taking showers and people are taking, multiple showers, it's a lot faster to have the gas heat the water. And it's not that much. It doesn't matter. $35 a month for our gas, which is not a lot at all. Comparable to what we were paying in Florida, it's actually a lot less. So $35 a month to have my hot water and to cook on my stove. And we cook a lot. And the oven is electric on ours. So the stovetop is gas, but the oven is electric. And we were using our stove. I tried not to in the summer too much because it was so hot, but we used our oven and stove a lot. So, okay, so that's gas. Gas, when we're not there, drops down to about 20. You still have to pay for the access, obviously, but $20, not that much. And they still have to bring the gas to the house, whether we're using it or not. Water. So water is not super expensive, depending on where you are in the country now. When we lived in Florida, our water was really expensive compared to Italy. It was about $85 a month because you have to pay for the use and the waste of water. That's how they figure it out. But here, we are only paying for both properties about $45 a month, and that was in the summer when we had guests, including the apartment also. The water, that we don't know what the bill is because they actually bill us for 3 months at a time, and 3 months isn't bad, to pay at once. They don't bill you every single month, and it saves you on that fee for the billing. Not sure, but I checked the bill and it looks like it's about $20 a month if you're not using any water. And obviously we're not there, so we're not using anything, so it's just for the access. But $45 a month to have people stay, taking showers, doing a lot of cooking and washing things and rinsing things off. When we had people over, we were cleaning things outside with the hose, using that. So cleaning out the patio outside to make it nice and clean. Every once in a while we wash it down. So not bad at all. Like I said, compared to Florida, it's a lot better than compared to Florida. So the next thing is internet. So we got, it's called FWA internet, and they're starting to have that in the United States a lot. T-Mobile is starting it, that it runs off of your cell phone service. So you just get this little module from the company. Some people won't charge you for it. They'll give it to you for free if you sign a contract. I don't remember how we got ours. I think we paid for ours in the beginning, but then they gave us a credit, and it was only about $50. And that's Vodafone that we got, and it's only $28 a month, and we leave that on all the time, even when we're not there, because we have security cameras and things running, and for us to be able to look into those, obviously we're not there, so we need the internet to be up and running, and it's been great so far. We haven't had any problems, knock on wood, haven't had any problems with interruption of service or anything like that, and our friends are actually using our place for internet because where they are, their internet's a little spotty, and they have been having problems, so they've been using our internet, and they said it's been great. It hasn't dropped out or anything like that. So I'm really glad that it's been consistent. We never had a problem while we were there, and not expensive at all, $28 a month. And you can take that with you if you decide you want to go somewhere else in Italy. Obviously that's serviced by Vodafone, or you go on a trip and you want to bring your internet with you in case you use it for work. You can just unplug it and take it with you and plug it in wherever you are, and you get internet. As long as there's a cell service, strong cell signal, you'll be able to get that. So we covered electric, we covered the water, we covered gas, we covered internet, cell phone service. If you decide that you want to get cell phone service in Italy and you don't want to keep using your phone that you have from the States, because it's really expensive to buy international plans that you can use in Italy, when you can just buy a SIM card, and I think $15 we paid for our SIM card, and it's $9.99 a month, and that's it. You get, I think it's 50, what we get is 50 gigs of data, and you can use Wi-Fi calling for your phone calls that you get from the United States. That would be normally, 50 cents a minute, or 25 cents a minute. You can use Wi-Fi calling on your phone, and it's free. And you don't have to keep doing those international plans, which could be quite expensive. Someone that we know spends think it's $100 every time they come, and it's like, you can just get a SIM card. You have the whole year of phone for free, and just keep turning it on when you come to Italy. You don't have to even leave it on all the time, but just it automatically renews, and they'll charge your credit card or PayPal. I think we have ours paid through, and you don't need to have an Italian bank account for any of those. And also, so we don't pay our own bills. All of our utilities are paid through Salento with Love, and we pay them a yearly fee to handle all of our bills for us. And for us, it's worth it because, number one, we don't have an Italian bank account right now, and they handle all of the bills. And if there's a problem with something, they get right on it. So we don't even have to be there to notice that there's a problem with anything. They'll call and take care of the issue right away, which is great because that's one less thing that we have to worry about. And it's not really super expensive. Plus everybody there is really nice to deal with. So it's great. So those are your monthly bills. So if you add it up, but for just one property where we are located, 253, about $350 a month during the summer when we were there for our bills. When you're not there, it's a lot less. It may only be $100 a month for all of your bills when you're not there, which is actually very reasonable. It's not expensive to maintain this house. So it's not something that we're saying, oh, that house is really expensive to keep up. We don't know if we're going to be able to afford it, because it's not. It's really not. So there's two other things that you have to pay that aren't utilities. And the first one is the TARI, which is your garbage tax. So normally when you pay a property tax bill in the United States, they have everything broken down where they have the school tax and they have your trash tax and all these other taxes that they add in. And then they give you that one bill and then you pay it. And it's most of the time it's thousands and thousands of dollars. And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't use any of this stuff, but I have to pay for it anyway. And so they do it separately. So there's two taxes that you have to pay. One is the TARI, that's the waste tax. They charge that depending on the property and if you live there and you're in it, and that's the amount that you get charged. Where we live, the TARI also, when you pay your TARI, you also get your parking permit for the centro, which you're not usually allowed to get into the ZTL during after hours, but with our parking pass, we can come in whenever we want, come and go as we please, weekends, whenever. We don't have to wait until it's open, because obviously that's part of our tax that we're paying, that we're there, and that we get to use the ZTL, and we don't have to worry about getting tickets because they can be really expensive. Our TARI on our house is $377 a year, which is crazy because I think when we left the U.S., we were paying about $5,000 a year for our property tax, which was crazy nuts, right? $5,000. We didn't even use $5,000 worth of services. Then that doesn't include the IMU tax, which is the actual tax on the physical property. So our IMU is $342 divided by 2, because there's 2 people that are listed on the property, Dennis and myself. So they divide it up and they bill us separately, which is so silly. And he might not want to pay mine, and then I'll have to find somewhere else to live. No, you still have to pay it. So $342 is divided $171 each. And they send us 2 separate bills, and we have to pay 2 separate bills. But €342 a year for property tax is crazy. It's almost like you're like, okay, don't tell anybody that they could charge a lot more. It's okay, leave it at $342. So $377 for the TARI and $342. So you're looking at about $700, a little over $700 a year for your waste and your land tax, which is not terrible at all, compared to what we were paying. And so there's one last thing that you might not want to get, you might not need to get, but we decided we're from the United States and we just can't stop buying insurance. So we needed to buy house insurance The buildings won't burn down because they're solid rock, right? But just to ensure the contents, to ensure it against theft, fire if you have any damage, or water, or anything else like that. So our house insurance we're paying is $368 a year, and that included an addition for theft. I believe it was like $20, something like that. And I was like, yeah, we definitely want the theft on it for $20. Not that anybody's stealing anything there. There's it's really a very nice place to live, so we don't have to really worry about people stealing things. But why not? We love to buy insurance. We're Americans, so hey, add it on. But $368 a year, not terrible, because we are renewing for our families in Florida now, and they're up to almost $2,000 a year for house insurance. And I know that the storm difference and all of those things, and hurricanes, and Salento and Puglia doesn't really get hurricanes. I don't think they've ever had a storm like that. It does get windy, but those houses are made for it. They've been there for hundreds and hundreds of years, and they're really not going to blow down anytime soon. It's just to cover us personal liability also, in case something happened at the house and somebody else was there. We would want to, be covered. I don't know how Italians do it if they just don't buy house insurance, but we're Americans. We gotta buy some insurance somehow. So we got a discount with the car insurance and the house insurance together, which I think it was like €100 or something we got off. So that was great. We love that bundling, your home and auto stuff, and we got our house insurance. So I hope that this helped you to maybe make a decision if you decide that you want to have a second property, but you're unsure of what the bills will be every month to upkeep that property, because it's depending on where you have a second property, your bills can be actually very, very expensive. Like right now we're staying in the Virgin Islands. We hope to be back to Italy very, very soon, back home that we built, because I miss it a lot. But to upkeep a property, say you were upkeeping a property here in the Virgin Islands, that would be so much more expensive than upkeeping in Italy. Between taxes and energy and all of the things that you have to keep here. We know just from just a condo community here, it's over $700 a month to just pay for the fees, and that doesn't include the utilities or anything like that. So, and that, some of them are a lot more than that, $1,200, $1,300 a month. So if you're thinking of something like that, to not be there, for it to be $120 a month, is really not that much. And it's worth it to have your own place when you do go there, if you're thinking about it, because not only is it a good investment, but we're noticing now that so many more expats are coming, and it's really starting to build a sense of community there. We're having a lot of friends. A lot of the people that we know that live there are missing us, and we do want to go back. So it's a place that you can actually call a second home, to really feel like home when you meet and connect with all the people that are actually doing this, because it's so many that we can't even count. I get contacted so many times about people that are asking me, how much do you pay for this and how much do you pay for that? So now I made a video. You can see it all online right now here on YouTube on Salve Salento. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will have more videos on how much things cost us, how much it costs to buy a car, and how you can buy a car. I know that a lot of people have been asking that also, because renting a car in Italy sometimes can be off when it's this off season, the August, and you can't find a rental car anywhere, or if you can, they're $2,000 a week or $3,000 a week. So if you have a residence in Italy and you want to purchase a car, I'm going to have a video on how to do that. So stay tuned to Salve Salento, and thanks for joining me today. I'm glad you tuned in, and take care. Ciao.